537 Saint Silverius, Italian Pope 536-37 till deposed in March 537, starves to death in exile. In 1348 Hanazono, 95th Emperor of Japan 1308-18, Zen priest, and last emperor of the Kamakura period, dies at 51. In 1381 John of Ruysbroeck, Flemish mystic. In 1455 Isabel of Coimbra, Portuguese princess, and Queen of Portugal 1447-55 as first wife of Alfonso V, dies possibly through poisoning at 23. In 1463 Albert VI, Archduke of Austria, dies at 44. In 1515 Gonzalo Fernández de Córdoba, Spanish general known as El Gran Capitan, remade the Spain army in the age of the firearm, dies at 62. Spanish conquistador defeated the Aztec Empire and colonized large parts of Mexico, dies of pleurisy at 61 or 62. In 1615 Louis d'Espalbe de Bertin de Crillon, French general. In 1665 Catherine de Vivonne, Marquise de Rambouillet, French socialite b. 1588. In 1694 Pierre Paul Puget, French artist, dies at 74. In 1719 Pasquier Quesnel, French Jansenist theologist La Foy, dies at 85. In 1723 Philippe Roman II, Duke of Orleans and Regent of France 1715-23, dies at 49. In 1726 Samuel Penhallow, English-born American colonist and historian, dies at 61. In 1747 Vincent Bourne, English classical scholar b. 1695. In 1748 Charles Seymour, 6th Duke of Somerset, English politician, dies at 86. In 1763 Carl August Thielo, Danish composer and court organist, dies at 56. In 1774 Johann Friedrich Agricola, German court composer and organist, dies at 54. In 1810 Philipp Otto Runge, German romantic painter, dies at 33. French philosopher and writer Justine and where the word sadism and sadist are derived from, dies at 74. In 1828 Simon Paap, Dutch dwarf 71 cm 28 inches tall cabaret artist, dies at 39. In 1831 Traugott Maximilian Eberwein, German composer, and Kapellmeister Court of Schwarzburg-Rudolstadt, 1817-31, dies at 56. In 1844 Eustachy Erazm Sanguszko, Polish general and politician, dies at 76. In 1845 Johann Giovanni Simon Mayr, German composer and music director Cathedral of Bergamo, 1802-45, dies at 82. In 1849 Adelaide of Saxe-Meiningen, Queen consort of William Roman IV of the United Kingdom, dies at 57. In 1860 Alfred Bunn, British theatrical manager b. 1796. In 1863 Jane Appleton Pierce, American First Lady 1853-57 and wife of Franklin Pierce, dies of tuberculosis at 57. In 1864 Archibald Gracie III, Confederate Brigadier General, dies in battle at Siege of Petersburg, Virginia, aged 32. In 1880 Josephine Lang, German composer, dies at 65. In 1888 Franz Xaver Witt, German church musician, composer, and priest, dies at 54. In 1888 Namık Kemal, Turkish writer, journalist and political activist Young Ottomans, dies at 47. In 1890 Cadmus M. Wilcox, American Major General Confederate Army American Civil War, dies at 66. In 1892 Jay Gould, American railroad developer and speculator, dies at 56. In 1899 Gregorio del Pilar, Filipino general known as the Boy General during the Philippine-American War, killed at the Battle of Turret Pass at 24. In 1903 Victor Roger, French word for l'opérette composer Les 28 jours declared, dies at 50. In 1915 Jan Malti, Czech composer, pedagogue, and musicologist, dies at 72. In 1916 Paolo Tosti, Italian composer, dies at 69. In 1918, Edmond Rostand, French poet and dramatist Cyrano de Bergerac, dies during the flu epidemic at 50. In 1918, Margit Kafka, Hungarian writer, dies in the flu pandemic at 38. In 1919, Henry Clay Frick, American industrialist, built world's largest coke steel operation, an art collector Frick Collection, dies at 69. In 1923, Tom S. Brett N., Spanish conductor and composer La Dolores, La Verbena de la Palomar, dies at 72. In 1924, Kazimieras Bigar, Lithuanian philologist b. 1879. In 1925, Julie Garreter, Spanish Catalan composer Sardines, Les Mides, dies at 50. French composer Symphonie on a French mountain air and teacher, dies at 80. In 1933, Joseph Gruber, Austrian organist and composer, dies at 78. In 1935, James Henry Breasted, American Egyptologist and anthropologist, dies at 70. In 1935, Martha Carey Thomas, American educator, suffragist, linguist and second president of Bryn Mawr College, dies of coronary occlusion at 78. In 1935, State of California uses gas chamber instead of hanging for first time. Robert Lee Cannon 29 and Albert Kessel 28 executed for role in Folsom Prison escape attempt resulting in murder of warden and guard, San Quentin State Prison, Marin County. In 1936, John Ringling, American entrepreneur and circus owner, one of the 7 Ringling Brothers Ringling Bros, world's greatest shows, dies at 70. In 1942, Karen G. Enesson N.E. Pedersen, Danish jazz singer, pianist, songwriter, composer, and actress, dies of pneumonia at 33. In 1943, Nordahl Grieg, Norwegian poet, dramatist and novelist The Defeat, dies at 41. In 1944, Eiji Sawamura, Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher, first no-hitter in Japanese pro baseball 1936, dies in battle with his ship torpedoed at 27. In 1944, Filippo Tommaso Moranti, Italian-French prose writer, novelist, poet, and dramatist futurister, dies of cardiac arrest at 67. In 1949, Albert Ammons, American jazz, blues, and boogie-woogie pianist, dies at 42. In 1950, Constantin Danilipati, Romanian classical pianist and composer, dies of Hodgkin's disease complications at 33. In 1951, Manuel Ugarte, Argentine diplomat, politician, newspaper owner, and author, dies at 79. In 1953, Ernie Hayes, English cricket all-rounder, 5 tests, Surrey CCC, Leicestershire CCC, dies at 77. In 1953, Francis Picabia, French avant-garde artist, writer, and typographist, Amaris Parade, dies at 74. In 1953, Reginald Snowy Baker, Australian boxer, Olympic silver middleweight 1908, rugby union halfback, 2 caps, and actor The Sword of Valour, dies at 69. In 1953, Walter Dock Meanwell, English Basketball Hall of